Coming up on today's Premier League Appetiser Show, season review.
Pre-season predictions. Now, they obviously have not been opened yet. All these will be revealed throughout the episode. So obviously had 4 wonderful years there, finished 7th twice in the Premier League and obviously got promoted from the Champ as well. So this was probably the weakest season, if you like, but overall be a very good season for them. They've lost 3 of the last 4 games actually in the league. The game they did win was against Man United's second string. I picked up 15 there, which I needed something big here. Well, no pressure. There's massive pressure, guys. This is a big, big round. It's obviously going to decide where the inaugural championship goes. So, yes, guys, welcome back to the TIFC YouTube channel. I'm Coach Indy. Today is another episode of the Premier League Appetiser Show, end of season review. Coming up on today's episode, we're rounding up game week 37 and 38 results. Just touching on a few results, we won't go into loads of detail. We'll also be touching on Indy versus the rest of the world. Again, game week 37 and game week 38, so there'll be a double there. Lots of points up for grabs, and we'll see who's won the inaugural Indy versus the rest of the world championship. We'll also be looking at the league table, see who's actually finished in the top 4, the European positions. We obviously know about the relegation positions already, so we won't talk about that too much, but we'll just see how the league table is finished and what that means going forward. 2 other things I want to talk about as well, guys. Now, cast your minds back to the international break back in March. I did a special episode where I predicted player of the season for every Premier League club, and I gave some reason and justification behind that. I think I was hoping for between 10 and 12 correct answers, so we're going through that. Stick around for that, obviously. And then last but not least, we have got our pre-season predictions. Now, they obviously have not been opened yet. All these will be revealed throughout the episode, probably towards the end of the episode actually. So basically in there, if you missed the early part of the season, I've got myself, one of my cousins, Jimmy, and a couple of my brothers, AJ and Gerps, have all got involved, and there's various predictions we've made at the beginning of the season, i.e. something like the Golden Boot, for example. But there's maybe 5 or 6 that we need to predict. So we're doing a bit of a reveal as the episode goes on. But obviously we're going to start off with some other news. Okay, other news then, guys. So I'm just going to really whiz through this. I'm really conscious of time. I want to whiz through everything. So I've kept to the biggest news possible over the last week or so. So lots of managerial changes, or managers stepping down, sacked, or whatever it may be. So Sam Allardyce has stepped down at West Brom. I think that was no shock really. Probably didn't fancy the championship at his age, so he stepped down. Obviously now he'll be looking for another job, probably December time throughout next season. Nuno has also decided to leave Wolves. Oh, that was more of a mutual consent. So obviously he had 4 wonderful years there, finished 7th twice in the Premier League and obviously got promoted from the Champ as well. So this was probably the weakest season, if you like, but very much a learning season for him and his players. Roy Hodgson has also decided to leave Crystal Palace. That's the 3rd manager from the Premier League as well. Obviously Roy Hodgson's in his 70s as well. If this is his last job, then he's had a cracking innings in terms of his managerial career, and I think it's lasted something like 45 years. So he's done really well, and whether he's in a rush to get another job, I'm not sure. Maybe he goes into some punditry or something like that, or maybe some ambassador type role at Crystal Palace as well. 2 other things to just talk about. Raul Jimenez, obviously he's missed a big chunk of the season because of the head fracture. Well, it's been announced that he's going to wear some head protection and a sort of head guard, if you like, as of next season as well. So obviously he was part of the warm-up yesterday during the games, didn't take part, wasn't actually part of the matchday squad, just did the warm-up, and he'll be hopefully ready to go as of next season. The last thing is another bit of injury news is Eberechi Eze, the Crystal Palace winger, the tricky sort of number 10 if you like. He has ruptured his Achilles. He's going to be out probably, the talks are between 6 and 8 months. It could be January, February next year, or sort of 2022. So that's sad news. That's probably a poor way to sort of finish the other news, but nevertheless it has sort of made the news. And yeah, we'll move on to the results for game 37 and 38. Just touch on some of those, and then obviously we'll just talk about the league table as well. So just going back to game week 37, which was obviously the midweek round of fixtures, to whiz through some of them. Obviously the Chelsea versus Leicester, that was the biggest game of all. Obviously on the back of the FA Cup final, which obviously Leicester won. So Chelsea won this game 2-1. That put them sort of in the ascendancy going into the last game week. Man City lost to Brighton 3-2 after being 2-0 up and having a man sent off. Brighton turned it around, obviously had a bit more possession, etc. And the fans, obviously the fans are back at this game week and obviously game week 38 as well, and they played their part in terms of helping to sort of change the flow and the momentum of the game. So good win for them. Leeds beat Southampton 2-0. Leeds and Bielsa continue to do what they do. Man United drew 1-1 with Fulham, disappointing result for them. They're looking for a bit of momentum going into the Europa League final. Cavani obviously scored a terrific goal there, so whether we should have counted or not, different matter altogether. Moving on to Wednesday, Everton versus Wolves. Everton win this game 1-0. Good win for them, keeps them in the fight for Europa Conference, Europa League positions if you like. Newcastle beat Sheffield United 1-0. Good win for Newcastle. A good solid sort of continuation of their end of season form. And I think it was Joe Willock who scored the goal as well actually, so he's in terrific form at the back end of the season. Spurs lost at home to Aston Villa 2-1. Jack Grealish started his first game back in terms of a start back after his injury. Missed obviously like 12-13 games. So good win for them, and Holly Watkins also scored as well. Palace in Roy Hodgson's last home game for Crystal Palace, they lost 3-1 at home to Arsenal. Disappointing result for them. Good win for Arsenal, continues their momentum and form. Burnley 0, Liverpool 3, good win for Liverpool. Yeah, I think that continues their momentum, and we'll talk about them a bit further in terms of Liverpool, going into the last game week. And then West Brom 1, West Ham 3, and that's a massive win for West Ham because it kept them in touch of the Europa League positions in terms of it being in their hands, if you like, rather than sort of relying on other people's results. So Antonio was one of the goal scorers in there as well, so good win for West Ham. So what that meant is, going into sort of the last game week, Man United had confirmed second position, obviously sitting really on the league. Chelsea were now third, Liverpool crept into fourth, and Leicester in fifth. Leicester are fifth on goal difference behind Liverpool, and obviously Chelsea are further 1 point ahead. West Ham were in sixth, Spurs were in seventh, Everton were in eighth, Leeds were in ninth, I think, and Arsenal were in 10th. And I think up to Arsenal, so Leeds were in 10th, Arsenal were in 9th, and up to Arsenal they had a chance of European qualification because of the new Europa League conference. So, just running through these games for game week 38. Arsenal won their game 2-0. Again, we'll touch on the Premier League very, very shortly in terms of the league table. Aston Villa beat Chelsea 2-1, so that absolutely threw a spanner in the works. Didn't see loads of the games. So here in the UK, there was all 10 games were televised, but if you didn't have multiple devices, it was very difficult to sort of watch every single game. So me and Mez, being as a Man United fan, I always watched sort of the Man United game, the large part of that, should I say, and sort of flick between the Chelsea game because that was quite interesting, especially when it went 2-0. So yeah, Chelsea lost that game 2-1. Fulham lost at home to Newcastle. Again, another win for for Newcastle at the end of the season. Really, really good form towards the end of the season. And I think Joe Willock scored again in that game, so it was a really good win for them. Leeds continued their good form at the end of the season, beat West Brom 3-1, no surprise there. Leicester 2, Tottenham 4. Now Leicester were 2-1 up in this game, also 1-0 up as well. And so they've lost that game 4-2. Gareth Bale coming off the bench and scoring a brace. Liverpool won their game 2-0 against Crystal Palace. Sadio Mane scoring a couple of goals there as well. Manchester City beat Everton 5-0, so that sort of ended Everton's chances of any European football next season. It's a horrible fixture to really have. You know, Man City winning the league this season after not winning it last season in front of their home fans. Sergio Aguero's last game, good preparation for the Champions League final, etc. Just everything was going against them. And actually, Aguero came off the bench and scored a brace as well. That was quite a fitting way for him to sort of depart his last sort of game at the Etihad for Manchester City. Sheffield beat Burnley 1-0, so a disappointing result for Burnley. Good win for Sheffield United, and I think they've had some decent form under the sort of caretaker manager Heckenbottom. I think he maybe won 3 of the last 7 or 8 games. West Ham beat Southampton 3-0. Good goals. Declan Rice scoring the 3rd goal, and Fornals getting a brace before that. And then Wolves won, Manchester United 2. Manchester United made wholesale changes. You could argue maybe one of the starting 11 maybe might start in the Europa League Cup final. So very much they're looking, resting a lot of their players, looking forward to the Europa League final. So what that meant for the league table, let me just get that up 1 second. Okay, so the Premier League table finished in this order. So we'll start with the bottom of the league. In fact, Sheffield United actually won 3 of the last 6, so decent form there. So they finished 20th on 23 points, West Brom 26 points in 19th, and the Fulham on 28 points. Burnley finished 4th from bottom of 39. It's very tight, sort of these next sort of 6 or 7 positions. So So Burnley 39, Brighton 41, Southampton 43, Palace 44, Wolves 45, and all of a sudden Newcastle also 45, but had a same goal difference as Wolves, but scored 10 more. Scored 10 more goals and won 3 of the last 4 games. So they finished 12th. So that's a really, really good season for Newcastle and Steve Bruce. So yeah, really good. Then there's a big chunk in terms of points. So it goes from 45 where Newcastle there in terms of points to Aston Villa who are 11th, finished on 55 points. And then you've got Everton, so disappointing for them to finish 10th overall really. So they're obviously in the fight for European positions, but to finish 10th in the league doesn't look as great. So they finished on 59. Leeds also finished on 59 in 9th. Just goal difference there, separating Leeds and Everton. Arsenal finished on 61 in 8th. Spurs finished on 62 in 7th, so they get the Europa Conference. Whether they wanted that or not, I mean, it's European football at the end of the day, so it's, you know, it's better than nothing, I suppose. West Ham finished 6th, so they go to Europa League. They finished on 65 points. Leicester finished 5th, they missed out on Champions League football again, another collapse if you like, but having said that, they have won the FA Cup this season, so overall it'll be a very good season for them. They've lost 3 of the last 4 games actually in the league, and the game they did win was against Man United's second string. So they finished on 66 points in 5th. Chelsea finished 4th on 67 points. Liverpool finished 3rd eventually in the end. And I did say, I think after the game yesterday, Liverpool's form last 10 games, they won 8, draw 2, so unbeaten in the last 10. That's sort of the form they will be looking for next season. So they finished on 69 points in 3rd. Man United on 74 points. 2nd, obviously Man City win the league on 86 points. So that was a league, how it sort of all finished. So European football for the top 7. Now, obviously Chelsea and Man City got to play the Champions League final. That has no bearing in terms of who else, or if there's anyone else going to win or sort of get into European football. If obviously Chelsea finished 5th and they went to win the Champions League, then the top 4 in the league and Chelsea would have got Champions League. However, it's not the case. So it's kind of irrelevant. Obviously United have got their Europa League final as well. So that rounded up sort of game week 37 and 38 results. Now we're going to move on to Indy versus the rest of the world. Go to game week 37 results first. Now, my opponent this time was again another old friend. Used to live in Ely with him. He's now I think a PT in Liverpool. He's a good lad. His name is Josh Bradders as well. So he obviously got involved. Not sure how much he knows about his football, but I think he does keep in touch. So we'll just go through them. So quickly, Man United versus Fulham, both went for United wins, finished 1-1, so 0 points there. Southampton versus Leeds, both went for Leeds wins and Leeds won that game, so another 2 points. Brighton versus Man City, both went for Man City wins, Brighton won the game 3-2, so neither of us picked any points there. Chelsea versus Leicester, I went for a Chelsea win 3-1. He went for a 2-1 win to Leicester and finished 2-1 to Chelsea, so I picked up 2. He's picked up 0. Everton versus Wolves, I went for a Everton 2-1 win. He went for a Desmond 2-2, so I picked up 2, he's picked up 0. Newcastle versus Sheffield, both went for Newcastle wins, and it finished 1-0 to Newcastle, so we both picked up 2 points there. Spurs versus Villa, both went for Spurs wins quite convincingly here. And Villa won the game 2-1, so we don't pick up any points there. Palace versus Arsenal, I went for a Palace win. Thought Palace would, you know, for Roy Hodgson's sake, last game in front of the fans, win that game 2-1. He went for an Arsenal win, and Arsenal won the game 3-1, so he picks up 2, I picked up 0. Burnley versus Liverpool, I went for a Liverpool win 3-1, he went for a 1-1 draw, but it finished 3-0 to Liverpool, so I picked up 2. And then last game, West Brom versus West Ham, I went for a 3-1 win to West Ham, he went for a 3-0 win to West Ham, and it finished 3-1 to West Ham, so I picked up 5, and he's picked up 2, sorry. So what that meant going into the last game week, so I picked up 15 there, which I needed something big here, and he picked up 8, so Josh picked up 8 points. So going into this game week, just a bit of context, I was 16 points behind. Now 15-8, I've clawed 7 back, so what that meant for the cumulative scores for the season was Indy was on 314 and the rest of the world were on 323, so there's 9 points in it, so I need to sort of claim and claw 9 points back in the last week. Now, I did have someone lined up for Indy versus the rest of the world. However, he let me down last minute and didn't actually get his predictions in time, which was really, really frustrating. So I had to draft in my brother AJ, just quickly whiz them through. So AJ's now getting involved, representing the rest of the world. No pressure. there's massive pressure, guys. This is a big, big round. It's obviously going to decide where the inaugural championship goes. So, running through yesterday's game. So, Arsenal versus Brighton. Now, he went for a Desmond 2-2, and I went for an Arsenal win 2-1. It finished 2-0 to Arsenal, so I picked up 2. I've clawed 2 of them back already, guys. Happy days, great start. Villa versus Chelsea. Both went for Villa wins, surprisingly. But we both went for it. Now, I went for a 3-1 win, so I picked up another 2 there. However, he went for a 2-1 win to Aston Villa. So, he's picked up a 5 for there. So now all of a sudden, it's 5-4 to the rest of the world. Fulham versus Newcastle. I went for a Fulham 2-1 win. He went for a 3-1 win to Newcastle and finished 2-0 to Newcastle. So he's picked up another 2, I've picked up 0. Leeds versus West Brom. This finished 3-1 to Leeds. He went for a 3-0 win to Leeds. I went for a 4-1 win to Leeds. So we both picked up 2 there and keep moving. Leicester versus Spurs. Both went for Leicester wins in this game. I went 3-2. He went 1-0 and it finished 4-2 to Spurs. So again, 0 points. Liverpool versus Palace. Both went for Liverpool wins. I went 4-0, he went 2-0 and finished, so he went 1-0, sorry, and it finished 2-0, so we both picked up 2 points. Man City versus Everton, both went for Manchester City wins. I went 3-1, he went 2-1 and it finished 5-0, so again, another 2 points there in the bag. Sheffield United versus Burnley, I went for a Burnley 2-1 win, he went for a 1-1 draw and it finished 1-0 to Sheffield, so neither of us picked up any points there. West Ham versus Southampton, both went for West Ham wins. I went 3-1, he went 2-1, and it finished 3-0 to West Ham, so another 2 points apiece. In the last game, Wolves versus Man United, I went for a Desmond 2-2, he went for a Wolves win actually, 2-1, and it finished 2-1 to Manchester United, so again, 0 points apiece. So what that means, scores on the doors, drum roll please. Okay, so what that means for scores on the doors for the week. Indy has picked up 12 points, so remember I need to claw back 9 points, so that means the rest of the world need to pick up 3 or less. 3 to draw or less for me to win. And that wasn't the case. So, AJ picked up 15 points. He actually won the game week by 3 points there. So, the rest of the world have absolutely smashed it this season. So, the final scores on the doors are Indy finished on 326 points and the rest of the world finished on 338. It's a massive 12-point victory for the rest of the world. Guys, all I can say is well done to everyone who's participated. There's a couple of players that participated multiple times in there, just sort of at last minute had to sort of step in. Special mention to the highest score of the season, which was Harry Hogg, 23 points in a single game week as well, so 10 fixtures should I say, sorry. He's picked up 23 points, brilliant. In terms of the lowest score, oh god, he's not going to like this, but I'm going to have to out him as well. Up Pete, lad. You need to up your game, no pun intended. So he's only picked up 2 points. And that was, again, in a full game week. And I didn't do much better that week, I only got 6. But still, he only got 2, which was horrendous. So, yeah, well done to Harry Hogg, disappointing. And funny enough, both these are GKs. Both these I actually worked with at Norwich as well, incidentally. So, coincidental, maybe, maybe not, I don't know. So well done to Harry, 23 points. Well done to... Well, hard luck, should I say, to Uppy, and I'm sure he'll get involved again next season and try and improve on his 2 points. So that completes Indy versus the rest of the world. Well done to the rest of the world, and I'm sure I'll come back fighting stronger next season. Okay guys, moving on to our pre-season predictions now, and the envelopes here in front of us, which haven't been opened yet. Myself, my 2 brothers AJ and GURPS, and my cousin Jimmy, at the beginning of the season, we predicted a few situations that might occur throughout the season or at the end of the season. So for example, we predicted who the Premier League winners are going to be and the top 4, the order of that. 3 teams are going to get relegated and the order of that also. The Golden Glove, the Golden Boot, and I think also the first managerial sack. And so, without further ado, we're going to reveal those live right now. Going to go to the very first one, which is GURPS. So let's just open this one up. As you can see, let's just open it up now. I think that is all the predictions. I don't think I've missed anything out, but let's have a look again. So, okay, so yeah, just to confirm the titles of all the predictions we made. So it's the top 4, and obviously in that order we've obviously predicted who's going to win the league as well. the bottom three in order: the Golden Boot, Golden Glove, and the first managerial sacking. Okay, so GURPS has gone for interesting, very, very interesting. Okay, I like this a lot. Okay, so top four for the Premier League, and obviously the Premier League champions. He has gone for Manchester City first, tick. Man United second, tick. Liverpool third, tick. Chelsea fourth, tick. Oh wow, what a start that is. Unbelievable, Jeff. Oh, I think that's going to be hard to eclipse, even for the rest of GURPS's and all of ours as well. So bottom three, he's gone for Crystal Palace 18th, which is incorrect. Fulham 19th, and that is also incorrect, but they did get relegated. And West Brom 20th, which is incorrect, but also they did get relegated. So I still can't go over that top four, guys. That's incredible. Golden Boot, he's gone for Harry Kane, which he did do in the last day of the season. He was obviously joint going into the last game of the season with Salah. Golden Glove, he has gone for Patricio, and the answer is Edison. And the first managerial sacking, he has gone for Frank Lampard, and the answer was Slaven Bilic. So, if maths serves me right, he has got he's got 5 absolutely spot on, and then if you want to count Fulham and West Brom as half points, if you like. So 5, say call it 6 points. That's really, really good actually, out of possible. Actually no, 7, because Man City, the winners as well. So 5 there, 2 halves is 6. Kane 7. Yeah, so he's picked up 7 points. Right, let me just make a note of that somewhere, because I will forget that. So, and GURPS equals 7. Right, next up is Jimmy. Okay, again, hasn't been opened. Now Jimmy's a bit of a rascal. He's a Man United fan as well. He has some funny thoughts, but it'll be interesting to see what he's gone for here. Okay, so, there's some interesting ones here as well. Again, we'll go in order. So he's gone for Man City to finish first in the league and champions. So he's picked up, say, 1 for the champions and first place. That's 2 if you like. Liverpool second, which is incorrect. Chelsea third, which is incorrect. And Man United, which is incorrect. However, he has got all the top 4, so he's got half points for all those. So he's got Man City spot on and title winners. That's 2. He's also got half point for Liverpool, half point for Chelsea, half point for Man United. So that puts him on to 3.5. Okay, bottom 3 then. He's got Aston Villa 18th, which they finished off the 11th. West Brom 19th, which they did finish 19th, so he picks up a point there. And Fulham 20th, now they finished off the 18th, so he picks up half a point. So he's 3.5 plus 1.5, he's on to 5. Golden Boot, he's gone for Aubameyang, which is, he had a pretty poor season. No one could have seen that. Obviously he had personal circumstances and injury situations as well went against him this season. Golden Glove, interesting. He's went for Nick Pope. Obviously, again, we know it's Edison. The first managerial sacking, he's gone for Roy Hodgson, which obviously it wasn't, it was Slaven Bilic. So, Jimmy has picked up 5 points. I'll just double check that. So, 1, 2, 3.5, 4.5, and then a half for 5. Yeah, 5 points for Jimmy. Going on to G next then. So, let's go to that. So G literally has next. So next one. Next envelope again hasn't been opened. Guys, I haven't got a Scooby-Doo what I went for. Honestly, I can't remember anything. So that's in there. Cool. Okay, this is AJ's predictions. Okay, so top 4. He's gone for Liverpool to win the league, which is incorrect. Man City second, Man United third, Chelsea fourth. Now he's got all 4 correct in there, but none of them by Chelsea in the right position. So Chelsea's picked up 1 point, and then the other 3's picked up halves. So he's up to 2.5 if you like after the first batch. Next one then, bottom 3. He's gone for Fulham 18th, which they did finish 18th, so that's 1 point. West Ham 19th, which completely way off the mark. So if they finished 6th in the league, and he went for Newcastle 20th. So he only picked up 1 point, but it's a solid 1 point. So 2.5 plus a 1.5 is 3.5. Golden Boot, he's also going for Aubameyang, which is incorrect. Okay, moving on to the Golden Glove then. AJ has got Edison down here, and obviously he has got the Golden Glove. So that moves him on to 1, 2, 3, 4.5 points. And then the first managerial sacking, he's actually gone for Slaven Bilic as a manager, which is also correct. So that puts him on to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 points, which is obviously just half above Jimmy. So moving on to myself now. Okay, guys, again, I don't know, can't remember. Honestly, genuinely can't remember. I mean, it can't be massively, different to everyone else's, but it'd be interesting to see the order. Okay, let's go for it. Top 4 order, I've gone for Liverpool to win the league, which is incorrect. Manchester City to come 2nd, again incorrect. Chelsea to come 3rd, and Spurs to come 4th. So, out of that, I've only picked up 1.5 points. I got the top 3 just in the wrong orders. So 1.5 points there. Bottom 3, I've gone for Aston Villa 18th, Fulham 19th, and West Brom 20th. So I obviously got Aston Villa massively incorrect. Fulham and West Brom, I've got them correct, but just in the wrong order. So I picked up half points for those. So that puts me on to 2.5 points. Golden Boot, I've gone for Aubameyang, which is, again is incorrect, guys. Obviously, we know Harry Kane's won that. Golden Glove, I went for Alisson, and again that was Edison, so got that one incorrect. And then also first managerial sacking. I don't know why I thought this geezer, but I have for him. But I've gone for Dean Smith, guys, for Aston Villa manager. Which, okay, maybe that makes sense as I've got him in the bottom 3, but yeah, miles off the mark. So that is pretty abysmal. So what have we gone for? I've got 1. I've literally got 2.5 points, guys, which is awful. That is terrible. So here's what it is. I've got 2.5 points, and yeah, just a bit of fun, guys. Like, obviously it's good to sort of make a prediction at the beginning of the season, stick with it, and then see what happens. And if anything can happen throughout the season, obviously managerial sackings, and that can, you might get that prediction correct, but however that might elevate, or probably elevate a team potentially into, from being 15th in the league to 5th in the league, for example. So yeah, just a bit of fun. And obviously those reveals have happened now, thanks to Jimmy, to Gertz, and to AJ as well getting involved. So just a quick recap of the scores. And he won't gloat too much because he's very much a gloater. He has 0 class when he wins. But Gertz finished on 7 points, which is tremendous. AJ finished on 5.5 points. Jimmy finished on 5, and then I finished on 2.5 points. So, guys, just a bit of fun. Really, really good fun actually. I'm sure we'll do something similar again next season. Okay, just to round up, guys. Obviously, today was the last episode of the season review for the Premier League Appetiser Show, the 2021 season. Now obviously we'll have a bit of a break now, we'll recharge ourselves, and we'll go again for the 21-22 season. There might be a bit of a video when the fixtures are released, which I believe is going to be in about 3 weeks' time. So possibly a video there. If not, we'll wait closer to sort of after the European Championships and when pre-season is sort of in full flow. Guys, I hope you really, really enjoyed this kind of segment. Obviously it's the first year I've done it. I like to think it's been quite good, quite insightful for you guys as the viewers. Me personally, I've really, really enjoyed doing it and sort of sharing information with you guys, sharing my knowledge, giving you guys information so you guys can keep on top of, your fantasy leagues, or just in general knowing about certain topics, whether it be other news like the ESL, for example, whatever it may be. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, guys, please do so. It does help my channel grow a little bit further. We're obviously trying to hit a massive, massive high target in our first year. Just click that subscribe button and click the notification bell, guys. It does help. And if you do like this type of video, please do drop it a like. And we'll see everyone at the beginning of next season.